Yo, yo, yo. Nope. Yo, 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 what's up? It's your boy Nash. So, today I'm going to be talking to you about how I got my scholarship for cross country at Austin Peay. So, you might not really care, and that's cool, but I will relate this in some way or form to God, so that's the whole point. So, how I got my scholarship to Austin Peay. What happened was I was a basketball player. I started when I was in first grade. After I started realizing I wasn't too bad at it, and like 5th or 6th grade is kind of when I really started to realize, like, hey, I'm not too bad at it. Then, you know, every kid's dream is to go to to go to Division I and then go to the NBA or whatever. So I was a huge UT fan. Then I realized that UT didn't produce any NBA players, really. There's a few like European League guys, but that was it. But I realized that Kentucky produced like a bunch of guys that would go to the NBA right off the bat, one and done, you know. I was a big Kentucky fan after I found that out. So I really started training hard. I was dribbling, I was shooting, I was doing all the right stuff, just training all the time. Kobe! I wasn't getting the results I wanted. I was wondering why I wasn't doing well, and I just didn't have the confidence. I would just lay a bunch of fat eggs, basically, when I go out there. I would be all hyped up. I had all the talent. I had the skill. I just didn't have the confidence to go out and play. And so I didn't go to God for it. I was always going to my parents like, what is wrong with me? Like, what am I doing wrong? And my dad would always critique me and would always tell me what I was doing wrong. So my freshman year, I went and played freshman ball. My high school coach told me, he was like, listen, Nash, like, you're showing really good signs of starting varsity this year. Like, I wouldn't see why you couldn't. And I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe all this heartache and crap has just paid off, you know? I also played travel ball, which was really hard, and that's just another story for another time. But anyway, I was on the freshman team, and I started really showing signs of improvement, and then all of a sudden, I got out of whack again. My coach started yelling at me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I can't take this anymore! Ah! And I was just like, what is going on with me? I don't understand. Then sophomore year comes around, I start doing stupid stuff, and I'm just not living for the Lord at all. I just had no one to go to, and even my parents like would tell me, they were like, yes, everything's gonna be fine, Nash, like you just need to get some confidence in yourself. And I was like, I know I do, I need to. I kept practicing, kept playing, school was going good, and then I was just like, maybe I should go out for the cross country team or something and start training to get in shape so I can run up and down the court faster, not think about being out of breath all the time, because this man right here was freaking sucking air all the time because I was just not in the shape I needed to be in. Like, I was in good shape, I just wasn't in the shape I needed to be in to actually perform at my best. So my mom, being the outgoing person she is, she went up to the cross country coach at the time and was like, hey, my son Nash, I don't know if you know him, he's interested in running cross country. And he was like, all right, like let him come out. I went to practice for the first time, and one of my friends had told me that they run like 7 miles every day. I was like, 7 miles, bro? I've ran like 1 mile. And I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm not running anymore. I think I'd ran like a 5-minute mile at that time. So I've been doing like really fast-paced training stuff to get in shape, but nothing crazy like 7 freaking miles. I went out and I was like, man, 7 miles actually wasn't that bad. Like, that was really easy. And I just kept doing that for a couple of weeks. I did the training stuff that they wanted me to. And then we had like some kind of scrimmage meet. It was basically, it wasn't a for real race, but a lot of people went out and you kind of try as hard as you can. I at least was. I think I ran like 17:22 for my first ever 5K. And 2 weeks later, I had my first official race, and I was like, I want to say like 13 seconds off the score. I ran like 16:47. Like, dang, let's go! Like, that's awesome. Did that, and I kept training, and so I developed an eating disorder. I was trying to be as thin as I possibly could, so I didn't have to carry around as much weight. I took it to extreme, and I started getting iron deficiencies and things like that, and I just couldn't, like, I'd run the first mile fine, and then after that, I'd just die. I was wondering what was going on. Then I started developing like knee problems because my body wasn't getting nutrients it needed, blah, 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 blah. So I come back my senior year, and I'm all ready to go. I'm all trained up. I started really realizing that my iron deficiency had not gone away. I was eating good. I just didn't have enough iron in my system, and I had a couple crappy races, and I was just like, man, like what the heck is going on? So I went to the doctor. They took my ferritin levels, which is like a thing that carries your oxygen to in your blood and like gets it to your muscles. So that's what ferritin is. I figured out that I was low on that, so I started taking iron pills. Then I started PRing. I ran like 16:20, like my third race in. I got the school record with 16:20, and then I PR'd another like 24 seconds. So I ended up running 15:56, and that was awesome. Like the time I did, I was like, man, like I'm in really good shape. Like I'm doing really well, training hard, encouraging my teammates as much as possible. I might have been a little cocky, I don't know, but whatever. Colleges kind of started looking at me. I started taking visits to a couple Division I colleges. I got letters from any division you can possibly think of, probably Division 26 or something. And then I took a visit to Austin Peay. That was super exciting for me. I went here and I was like, man, this feels like home. The people here are so nice. The campus is beautiful. So I think this is where I'm going to go. So I committed in like spring semester of senior year. It was crazy how God opened the doors for me. Just kind of transitioned over and stopped playing basketball. I completely quit my junior year, and then I just started running cross country completely. So that was super cool. I just don't know how it would have been possible without God. I'm still going through some injuries and stuff, but it's okay. I know God has a plan for me. Really what I wanted to get out of that is I've been writing verses on my hand in the recent days. I put Jeremiah 29:11 on my hand, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to hurt you, plans to give you hope in a future." That really just kind of speaks to me in the sense of God had a plan for me. And even though I wasn't really digging into his word much back in those days, it's like it was his will for me to be here. And so I just think it's awesome how the tides turned for me from playing basketball, and then all of a sudden he just kind of helped me ease out of that mindset of I'm going to play basketball to I'm going to run cross country. And I'm just so excited to be here. And even though I'm dealing with some stuff, I know he has a plan for me. So anybody that is going through a time where you're like, man, I'm totally into this, and then an opportunity comes up and it's nothing that you planned, but it's like, you know what, this might actually kind of help me, you know, like I might actually enjoy doing this. Kind of drop what you're doing and you go do what the Lord tells you to do. I hope this helps somebody. I hope it encourages you. It's just been a really awesome journey for me. Anyway, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below what you think, and peace, boys. We're beautiful.